I just want to warn you about this interview with Carolina gymnastics coach Danna Durante. She just came straight from practice. She is brushing chalk off of her right now.
That's right.
Jones just got off the parallel bars moments ago.
Yeah, that's right. Adam, parallel bars. Come on, give me a break. I am so excited for this interview with Coach Durante. I'm a gym rat myself, so we're a big gymnast family, so I'm excited about it. Coach, first of all, excited to have you here. Okay, take us through when this job came open. Coach Galvin had been here for nearly 40 years. Why was this a job that caught your eye?
Yeah, really good question. I mean, it's hard to explain in a short summary, but the best I'll say is my husband and I, there were a few places that if I was going to get back into coaching that made sense from a location standpoint,
Sure.
from being near our family standpoint, and places that we just loved. I mean, we've always loved the Carolinas. And specifically, I have to say this, he is a huge North Carolina fan because he was in college and high school when Jordan was in school here. So he's just a huge Carolina fan and always has been. From a gymnastics standpoint, Coach Galvin, amazing man, built a great legacy here, but so much potential here for Carolina gymnastics. And so it really just felt like it fit. And if I was going to take that leap back into coaching, it was a place that, if everything aligned from the athletic department and sort of my values and how I want to coach, then it would be the perfect fit. And it did. I mean, it just feels like a place where I can be authentic. I can coach the young women in a way that is about their growth and their development. And I can help, hopefully our staff, we can help make them amazing gymnasts as well. But really at the forefront is just that growth and development. And Carolina embraces that. So it really just made a lot of sense. It was really a great alignment.
What's your reception been like from the girls who were already here? There were 15 gymnasts who were already here who may or may not have already known you. How is establishing that relationship going?
Yeah. It's been phenomenal. We as a staff, Marie DENICK, who was here last year, has stayed on staff with us, phenomenal. AMELIA HUNDLEY is a new coach here and also just phenomenal, great energy and just brings so much to the staff. But all three of us say all the time, just this team's openness to accept the things we were asking them to do, from raising expectations, from a carry yourself a certain way, not that they already didn't do that to some degree, but just if we're gonna raise the bar for Carolina gymnastics, it's gonna need to seep into everything that we are, from the way that the gym looks, from the way that we train, from the way that we carry ourselves, the way that we dress, all of the way we speak, all of it just has to be elevated so that it is authentic to who we are. And they have been so open to that, okay, great, we got it, what's next? And every week has been like that. And I know that sounds crazy, and a lot of coaches will say that. I can honestly say, I've said that before and kind of been like, oh, it's kind of true, but with this group, it's absolutely, unequivocally, all 21 of them, what do you need from us? What do you want? What are you expecting? Okay, did we get it? Do we need to be better? Like, they just want to learn and grow and do more. It's exciting. Again, the three of us as a staff every day walk in excited. In the office, planning, how can we get better? What do we need to, what do we need to tweak here? What do we need to be better at? What do we need to stop doing because it's not working? And then going into the gym, the team matches our energy, if not raises it every single day. It's an unbelievable group. And so it's been only 5 months, but it's been an incredibly exciting and rewarding 5 months, even just this first start of this semester.
Big meet coming up, which we're going to talk about in a second. I think I have this right. So Carolina, Pittsburgh, NC State currently have gymnastics, correct?
In the ACC.
In the ACC. Now
yes,
Carolina competes in
ACC.
What's called the Eagle. But Clemson is going to add gymnastics in the near future, which means that the Atlantic Coast Conference can become a full conference of gymnastics. Is that accurate?
Will. Yep, can and will.
And that seems like a big deal to me.
It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. So Clemson, I believe their team is starting fall of 23. First season will be 2024. And we will move into an ACC championship at that point. And it absolutely is a huge deal because it's a Power 5 conference. Right. It carries, we love our Eagle comrades and those, those coaches, those teams are phenomenal. But being in a Power 5 conference does carry a different level of, it's just a different cachet, right? Like it's just the way you talk about it, the things that you can do with your team, the way you recruit, it just looks a little bit different. And so Clemson adding is very exciting. It's exciting for collegiate gymnastics in general, but it is very exciting for those of us in the ACC because we will become now a Power 5 conference.
You have a long history of coaching success. What are a couple things you saw when you got here that you immediately knew, we can do this a little bit differently, and that will automatically, as you said, raise the ceiling a little bit?
Yeah, good question. A couple really small things. One, believing that you can be a great student, you can pursue your dreams academically here as well as athletically. I think they felt like they could, but they needed someone to say, absolutely you can, and this is how we're gonna do it. So I think just a little bit more structure in how we're gonna go about training. I think the way that they trained, when I came in, there was a little bit of, if it was hard, they sort of would back down, and that's not my MO. My MO very much is, if it's hard, great, it's gonna make us better, right? So obviously within reason, but just laying out what those practice plans look like every week, every month, being able to read the room. When do we need to push them so that they believe that they are capable of more than they thought? When do we need to pull back and say, you guys, you've had it mentally, you're exhausted, physically, get it. Let's just make a little shift here. Just being able to do that and gaining their trust so that anything we ask, they are willing to do, was a pretty simple tweak. And we've seen great rewards from that. So, I mean, they had it in them. I think they needed people to believe in them and say, let's go. I've done it before, right? Staff has done it before. This is what it's gonna look like. And as long as they did ask, hey, coach, if you're laying out these high expectations, we're okay with that, but we might need you to walk us through that so we don't start to feel overwhelmed. And so that, one of our seniors, Drew Aldridge, said that early on, and so that always just stuck in the back of our minds of, hey, we're asking them to do something they haven't done before. What do they need to see? What do they need to hear? How do we need to continue to praise, reward, encourage, and challenge so that it becomes a very clear picture? I don't know if that makes sense, but they needed to be able to see it with their own eyes and not just say, hey, we're gonna do this, and then kind of expect them to drive that. They drove a lot of it, but we also pushed from behind, or I would say probably more like arms together, is what it feels like with this group.
All right, mentioned big meet coming up this weekend. It originally was a quad meet. Unfortunately, NC State has announced it will be unable to compete this weekend due to COVID protocol problems within the Wolfpack program. But coach, it's Carolina, it's Bowling Green, and it's Auburn. Auburn, of course, if you're a big gymnastics fan, Suni Lee, a member of the Auburn team. Tickets, I think there's still a few available on GoHeels.com. I'm going to be there with my family. We're excited about it. Tell people why they should come watch this weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. One, it's this team's and this staff's debut, right? It's the first time we get to coach together and coach this group in Carmichael. So really excited about that. This team has been working so hard. They've made incredible strides. And, you know, I think if you came to the inner squad, you saw that a little bit, but it'll be good to see them really kick off the 2022 season. You mentioned it. Auburn, Suni Lee, didn't know, as she was on Dancing with the Stars and some different things in the fall, if she would actually be on campus. She's on campus at Auburn. She will be here from everything that we know, probably competing bars and beam, Olympic champ, amazing athlete. And come see your Tar Heels, but come see Suni Lee as well. You might as well. I do think there's a few tickets still available. Would love to sell out Carmichael. Would love to just pack that house for our Tar Heels, but also just for some great gymnastics.
What's the ceiling for Carolina gymnastics?
You know, this maybe sounds like a standard answer, but I don't think that there is one. You know, right now I cannot see one. I do see a 5-year plan where we're regionals every year. We start to knock on that door for having individuals at nationals. We are at nationals, which means we're top 8 in the country, and then we're vying for that top, you know, to be in the top 4, where you are really competing for a national championship. That just feels very doable here. How long will it take us? I don't know. We've got some incredible athletes on the team. We've got some incredible recruits coming in. So I think it's just, this is what I love about Carolina. They are, hey, coach, build it. Do it the right way, build it, bring the right pieces in, make sure for us as a staff, our culture is paramount. And I know a lot of coaches say that. We just every week have discussions about, we will never trade culture for talent or for anything else, because you got to do it the right way. So that might take us a few years longer than sacrificing that culture and bringing in somebody that's, you know, could blow the roof off from a talent standpoint. But I've seen that work against teams. We don't want to do that. So I don't think there is a ceiling. I don't know how long it will take us to get there, but that is the goal. That is where we're going to go. I don't know anything else, right? We were able to do that at Nebraska. We were able to do that at Georgia. Never quite stood on the top of that championship podium. That would be a goal, but we want to do it the right way and make sure that at the forefront, these student athletes are having an incredible experience. growing, developing, but ultimately leaving Carolina with a lifelong treasure that they get to look back on and say, man, I'm so glad I picked Carolina, and I'm so glad those people were a part of my journey.
Can't stress this enough. It is so much fun to go watch a gymnastics meet. If you've never tried it before, I really encourage you to do so. It's not a super long time. There's a lot of action. It's impressive athletic feats. I think you'll really enjoy it. Check it out. Carolina at home this weekend, as we talked about, against Auburn and Bowling Green. Coach, great to see you. Thanks for your time. Look forward to watching you and your program grow here in Chapel Hill.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me. Looking forward to Friday night. Jones is right. Less than 2 hours, quick hits, lots of energy, great gymnastics.